Well, we have a second game for you in the final game of the SCL today. eLevate scraping out a win against the eLevate team, and now they're going to try and get that 2-0. Almost another upset. Almost the third upset of the day.
After a game like that, eLevate has to be feeling really confident going into the second game, and eLevate more than likely going to be a little, I wouldn't say on tilt, I would just say a little bit annoyed.
Yeah, they're definitely frustrated.
Game went that way.
And to be fair, though, I mean, eLevate also was in the lead for a decent portion, right? Their own Phoenix Sieges failed. But yeah, to kind of lose, to have your loss be like the last fight while you're sieging, and then they just run into the base, that's
Finding
that's so
three
annoying.
Kills onto the Scylla that early on in the game, making sure that your middle and jungle have such great commanding lead, but not able to take it. You know, they had a 4-kill advantage, but then they just dropped it, and eLevate came back with 4 kills of their own.
Game 2, though, everyone's got to reset their minds and get ready for this one. Picks and bans out. Qual and Chronos banned out, so eLevate focusing on Paul's pick, and it's going to be a Guan first pick for eLevate, so left open by eLevate.
So now, eLevate, if they wanted to, they're the ones that could pick up the Odin, because that seemed to be the block that Guan couldn't do anything against this Odin. The constant cages during the cavalry charge, negating the healing as well, was just very annoying for Guan.
And now Raijin going to be picked up. I think that was banned last time, I want to say, instead of the Chronos there. But once again, eLevate going to go with that Susano onto Freya. I mean, he had a really good game.
And he's going to try to basically emulate the same exact thing. The only issue is now eLevate exactly see the way Freya plays the Susano, so gonna have to adapt his Delta Marine. I don't expect him to give up first blood this early on this game.
And Cabrakan there, locked in here. I mean, eLevate could just go for the Scylla again. I mean, the Cabrakan Scylla, we did see a ton of synergy with it, but as long as, like you said, Delta Marine doesn't give up 3 kills in 4 minutes, I mean, it's gonna be good for him.
Especially considering they have the Guan Yu to keep everybody topped off in these team fights. If you can go into the mid game with Guan Yu and a Scylla that hasn't died, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, and so I do want to talk about it a little bit, because we were kind of alluding to it, is eLevate had that 3-kill advantage, 1K gold lead, and they made the one mistake at the Fire Jet. It really seemed like their objective calls were fairly weak in game 1.
That Gold Fury specifically, like you mentioned, where Owen teleported, that was the turnaround, because I think eLevate not only stole it, but they found a kill.
Yeah, they found 1 or 2 kills. At the very least 1.
That was the turning point that allowed eLevate to get back into the game.
And I mean, the Scylla always seemed to be a factor in the team fights, despite being so far behind. Second round of bans, Houyi and Jablanque once again locked away from AirCougar. I don't think he cares, though. I think he'll just go straight to the Chiron if it's left open.
Or the Cupid.
Or the Cupid. I'd rather see the Cupid. I mean, Raijin, Bacchus, Susano, like, yo, hit him with the Cupid, though.
Going to be the Anhur for eLevate. eLevate still with their Hunter option.
He's just going to go Chiron again, isn't he? Scumbag. Don't do it.
Could potentially go... I know, Chronos is banned. eLevate banned out.
I wonder where they're going to play this Guan Yu, right? Because I would imagine it's not going to be in the soul lane. It's got to be support, I guess.
I mean, with Cabrakan...
Cabrakan's so good in the soul lane right now.
It should be... Like, we've seen some junglers on PC run Cabrakan from PC on jungle.
But yeah, now it's Hunbatz, so...
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious that Hunbatz is going to go jungle here.
And it's going to be Neith. So that was actually banned out instead of the Houyi, I believe, last time. Or I know Neith was banned out, so a lot of global potential coming out for eLevate here. They're also going to have that double sustain duo. Not fun to play against if you're eLevate.
No, but have to be very careful against the Bacchus Anhur. That's a lot of potential CC follow-up. You have the burp into the belly flop, but it is going to be a Sobek. So double Guardian from eLevate. More than likely going to be Sobek in the soul lane, trying to deal with this Cabrakan.
Solo back. I mean, you do have the pluck that can cancel out the tremors. I mean, I guess maybe that's what you're looking for, but you kind of put yourself into an awkward spot because your escape is down.
You also have the tail flip.
Does that not come up?
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking it was like knock-up immune during it.
Unless they change it.
Which is not. I'm just like, yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking that for some reason.
No, maybe you're thinking of the Bacchus burp.
Yeah, I know. I know there's like Bacchus burp and stuff, but for some reason, I was thinking it was CC immune or knock-up immune.
All right, spot the shenanigans.
That'd be so deadly.
Let's see.
Sobek solo. I mean, we haven't seen it so long. That's shenanigans enough.
That's true. But now with Mark of the Vanguard, you can easily run Guardians, especially against the Guardian. Just do Guardian versus Guardian.
I wonder if they realize that it's only physical protection now and not magical.
It's still good against the minions. That's the thing. Because those archers hurt more in the beginning of the game.
It's the 10 physical protections against the minions. That's true.
So that always helps out. So no, I don't see any shenanigans really from either side quite yet.
Yeah, we're gonna see Sobek solo back. I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want that.
You think it's Resident Sleeper?
It's pretty Resident Sleeper, man. Although Sobek's pretty badass god. Like, look at him.
But team fights are going to be a lot of action. Once these gods transition into mid to late game team fights, they're just going to be all over the place.
And that's the thing about the Guardians and the Soul is that they can fill so many roles, right? They can fill that backline diver. They can fill that initiator role if you're Sobek looking for the Plux, or just focus on peeling for your mage, right? It's like you kind of just sit in that middle. Like there's three spots in a fight typically. Like it's like backline, middle line, and then front line, and Sobek can kind of fill that middle line role and flex in between, where you can like start the fight or dive a carry, or you could protect his team and just kind of be doing AoE damage in the middle of everyone.
So different starts coming out of between the solo jungle. We had eLevate start blue to speed, whereas eager just elected to do speed to blue. As a result, just going to trade off 1-for-1 harpies. Not really much going on either side. Just basically symmetrical.
But eLevate should have a little bit of pressure in the mid lane, and I'm a little bit surprised they didn't look to try and cut off Delta Marine and Myflin rotating back in. At the very least, they'll be able to clear the wave first. Freya not looking for the pull there.
No, just going to do his damage and disengage. And with that, Fire Giant Imps are going to go on the side of Freya. A little bit of engage onto Jellly, taking a lot of damage.
That heal, though, pretty helpful. He also has the meditation as well, so he could look for a bait, and actually Zachsy taking up so much archer damage from initiating onto Jellly that's a win for Eager.
Has to be very careful. As a Hunter player, you have to force your Guardian to initiate.
Get it. And AirCougar just spinning poke. He doesn't really care about getting hit by those archers because he has the sustain from Jellly as well as the self-sustain. So, I mean, any poke war is just... Eager's loving it.
Just have to be careful. The only thing you have to worry about is the Bacchus curse. If you overextend and you don't have your escape, you're just not gonna move. And
Dwurst here getting the better of this. Man, we haven't seen this lane in forever. Who's gonna win? Like, I guess it's just Cabrakan's gonna win this. But how does Sobek do? When's he gonna translate into not getting destroyed?
I would say once you're around level 7, Sobek wins very convincingly. But in this position, they're just very content with clearing their own way. But like right there, that's something that Owen's going to have to be a little bit more consistent about. It's just stopping the Tremors earlier on during the clear of, because Dwurst already did enough damage with the Tremors that it didn't matter if it get canceled at that point.
And yeah, he just needed a couple little bit more hits instead of, you know, Dwurst needing another round of cooldowns to finish off that wave. Maybe this. I wonder if this is a matchup Owen has played anytime soon, or anytime recently. He's already 300 gold down.
Oh, engage in the mid lane. Fear no evil on Freya. Very late purification. Typhoon connected, and now first blood for Freya connected.
Oh, Delta in a little bit of trouble. Max range though. Paul finds the snipe. 2 for Owen. eLevate once again getting started off in an incredibly strong manner. They get the 500 gold bounty, and I mean that was just a really late ultimate from Delta Marine. That's all it comes down to. I mean, it
needed to be communicated a little bit better. And the fact that wasn't also the purification from Hunbass was just non-existent during the Typhoon.
And dropped engage. And then Jellly dies as well. He has meditation, but he's a little bit worried. And now AirCougar just going to take poke. He should be fine in this situation, but... Eager starting off on the wrong foot for a second game in a row.
It's the same exact way they started off the last game, right? There was 2 kills in the mid lane and 1 kill in the duo lane.
It's still the same number of kills, right? Like I think it was 4-0 at 4 minutes, like 35 or 40 seconds. So that's where I'm looking at eLevate to match their early game. This time they need to not throw it away, though.
Not at all. They need to try to look for a potential invade on the speed or the red buff a little bit later on, potentially if they find another kill in the mid lane. Both mid harpies are respawning very soon. Right is already up. Left is coming up soon as the red buff is being taken by both teams.
And it looks like no invades coming out. Still the speed in blue on the right-hand side as Dwurst secures his own blue buff. Mid harpies go the way of Eager as well. So 1K deficit, Eager have themselves once again. Do it.
Now he was waiting. StormyRays was body blocking Freya to run away from the crush, and he had nowhere to really peel. The thing is, if he initiates with a Jet Stream in that position against those 3 members, he's going to take more damage than he's going to dish out.
Yeah, I mean the ultimate from Batz was up again, and his purification is still down. Yeah, and if you're eLevate, right, you have to be like, all right, our purification's still down. We really don't want to fight this Batz specifically, because he's just going to blow us up.
And just wait for the buffs to respawn, already taking his own speed. Now going to allow the Sobek to get his own blue, because it's very difficult as a Sobek this early on to secure your own blue without using your ultimate.
And he'll just clear his wave and split a little bit of that XP with his jungler. Dwurst takes the first trip back to the base. He gets the full shoes of the Magi. He's also 600 gold ahead of the Sobek, so it's going to be a little bit before Sobek can finish his. You can see starting to itemize into that magical protection very early on as well.
And he also has this lead without investing into a purple pot. I wanted to bring that up earlier on. The fact that it's a Guardian versus Guardian and Dwurst elected to just start off Mark into boots 1 gives him a lot of sustain also, because he doesn't have to worry about the clear from Sobek early, because it's non-existent.
There is no clear. And he also actually comes back into lane without burning his teleport, so he's going to have that 3-minute teleport advantage as well. Like, if he wants to go to a team fight, it's going to be in favor of Eager.
Just forcing the Scylla Sentinel away. StormyRays buying time. Paul, and Typhoon coming out, countered by Alma Monster. Fear no evil.
Really good purification from Freya, but he's going to get stunned out, and here comes Paul. He's just going to try and peel, and he hits the taunt. Myflin, max range. StormyRays finishes him off. Jellly falls as well, and these fights are just going so well in eLevate's favor.
And this has been a different pace. Now it's 5 kills on the side of eLevate, but they're winning a team fight. They're not fighting a pick. They're just won a little skirmish, and now it's forcing the Scylla to lose a little bit of gold under tower, and now there's going to be a rotation potentially onto this gold.
And there's a 2-level lead, and that 1000k just between the Raijin and the Scylla. Delta Marine falling so far behind. AirCougar is looking at Gold Fury, but I mean, he has really low health and mana, and I'm surprised that eLevate dropped that.
It looks like Anhur wanted to back. He wants to get a little bit of a power spike over the Neith, picking up the boots too. And if Neith backs, then she concedes the Gold Fury, so she has to stay in the lane after that team fight in the mid.
And eLevate. Question is, are they going to throw this time? Maybe that's it. Maybe they didn't want to throw. Maybe they had like flashbacks of the first Gold Fury. A little bit too risky here. Speed buff just going to be secured. You can see Sobek seeing what's going on here.
Just resetting the blue buff timer for his own mini-map, so that way if Dwurst ever leaves the lane, he'll know when exactly that blue buff is up, and then he can kind of assess whether or not he has the time necessary to steal it.
And Jellly here, not off to the best start, 0-2 and 0. Gone into the tank boots though, so he's just trying to have a little bit of that CCR, but I mean, I don't know if that's going to be enough. He needs to get a defensive item online ASAP.
Gonna try to more than likely go for Hide of the Urchin, potentially trying to maximize going that physical and magical defense on against the side of eLevate.
I mean, there's a lot of magical burst though. I mean, this might be one of the, I guess that's the thing, right? He wants to go into magical defense, but he's a little bit worried about, you know, running into Freya early on that Susano, right? Just gonna be so
maybe
so dangerous for him.
I would say Spirit Robe, honestly, trying to mitigate a lot of damage after getting CC'd even a little bit out of eLevate.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about the stacks, right? You get the 40 flat. You don't have the health, but just that damage reduction after stunned. And I mean, the initiation's probably going to be either Freya pulling you in or Bacchus knocking you up. That's and if not, then Paul's probably going to hit you with the taunt on his ult.
Or you can get knocked out by Sobek if he ever rotates.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of CC on the side of eLevate, but there's also a decent amount coming out of Eager. They have the Cabrakan, which could easily rotate very soon. A lot faster than the Sobek. You have more mobility as Cabrakan with your steroid. You have the Fear No Evil. And the thing is, on top of those 2 CCs, you have 2 roots. So that doesn't diminish any sort of CC.
And, oh, Myflin under tower getting chased by Freya. The Typhoon's not going to be enough, and there comes the Fear No Evil, but Paul diving the tower fearlessly finds 2.
And now going to be in counter engage, forcing out the purification from Paul. Going to try to disengage, a rotation from AirCougar as well. Nice double pull on the side of Freya, disengage from AirCougar. It should be another kill onto Jellly.
Oh, Paul once again racking them up, 5-0 and 2. And now it's going to be the Gold Fury tip that eLevate truly want. They've taken out 3 members. Myflin spawning in a couple seconds here. Paul juking out that Spirit Arrow. And the rotation is real from the solo laners. And Sobek just going to be focusing on that peel. I mean, eLevate cannot have this stolen away for a 2nd game in a row.
Gold Fury very low. Dwurst coming around the corner. It's around less than 25%. Going to disengage. Purification being used. Freya just streams away.
They reset.
lurking in the water. A lot of damage onto Dwurst. Could easily kill him.
Actually, I mean, AirCougar kind of just free casting there, and that's given time for Delta Marine to come back in. The crush is good. It's not going to be enough damage. Look for the Alma Mater, and that's the reset. StormyRays, he's going to die. Zachsy as well. The attention's turned on to the Sobek. He's going to be hit, but it's not enough to finish him off. And now Eager successfully defend the Gold Fury once again, and even started up themselves, and it's going to be uncontested.
I think eLevates are having those flashbacks like you were talking about. Now Eager, the ones that get the Gold Fury, limiting the gold lead to just about under 1,000 currently. I mean,
it's just, I don't know, man. Like, they just had 4 on it. They were really low. Sobek peeled, and like they were so timid to start it, right? Instead of just all-inning it, where they would have had the burst before Dwurst even walks around the corner, they're just like, I don't know. Okay, let's do it. All right, Sobek, you peel. Oh crap, we reset it.
Yeah, at that point in time, once the Cabrakan came around, because they didn't see the pathing that the Cabrakan took.
Yeah, no, it was really good pathing.
Alongside the left side mid-harpies, which was very nicely done by him, taking advantage of the lack of vision. And as a result, Eager now stealing, not stealing, but like commanding the Gold Fury, which eLevate should have been the ones.
Yeah, eLevate once again. I mean, they got off to this massive start, right? They were 8-0. And they had this, 2K plus gold lead, and right now the game is dead even, only 300 separating it. And you could see Dwurst as well, just this huge lead over Owen, right? He is on the Sobek, so he's expected to kind of get behind early, but I mean, 1,000, isn't that a little bit too much?
It is quite a lot, but the fact that the team fight benefited Dwurst.
Yes. Oh, no, for sure. You got the Gold Fury and also got a kill.
So that's huge in the factor. Now, before the Gold Fury happened, just a laning phase, hold that thought. Going to be a gank onto Owen, and he's going to take a lot of damage. However, lurking in the water, going to try to bail him out.
Oh, that's actually a ton of investment. Fire Giant's actually pulled. There's the Typhoon. Myflin, he's going to die in response. And looking for the stun, Jellly finds one, but he's got to switch his attention as he's getting chased down by the Bacchus. Crush going to slow down any advancement from eLevate, though. And overall, a 1-for-1.
And meanwhile, on the dual lane side of things, AirCougar finding the solo kill onto Zachsy. Never have your back turned in a Hunter versus Hunter. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I mean, I guess his jump was down, or he didn't actually think that burst would have been real. I mean, Spirit's Arrow is not the most friendly ability to you.
Trying to find the kill onto Delta Marine, just forcing the Sentinel instead. Those 3 members from eLevate are going to disengage now. Gold Fury is respawning in about 3 minutes or so. Speed buff has spawned for eLevate, so that's where their sights are. And
it doesn't look like anyone's going to be invading that, but the blue buff is getting looked at. And poor Owen has no idea. He's walking to his tower, thinking he's just going to get the minions. Who's he going to go to? Dwurst, let's go. Pulled back, secured. Dwurst by himself, though, and there's 3 members surrounding him, and Owen's going to be able to CC him, but Freya's backing, so the call is no Cabrakan kill.
It's a level 13 Cabrakan. Does have Bulwark of Hope online.
I'm not saying it would have been a possible kill. I'm just saying the call was no kill.
It's a good call.
No, I'm
not. It was going to take forever. It was going to take forever, and by that time...
Like the Gold Fury respawns.
Yes. You would have to probably chase him under the tier 1 tower if you wanted to even find that kill, and then by then you're losing your tier 1 middle and duo lane.
Flashbacks, man. 12 minutes into this one, game is holding the same pace. eLevate getting started off incredibly strong. 8 unanswered kills. Straight into a misplay at the Gold Fury for a second game in the row, where Eager has now made the game dead even. It's so funny how it's like literally the exact same thing. The 2 kills in the middle, 1 kill in the duo, snowball these kills unanswered, and then throw with the Gold Fury.
Just got to be a little bit more patient, I guess.
I thought that was a good Gold Fury that time, I think, though. I think it was just like...
Compared to the first game. So the first game, they did commit to it.
Yes.
And it got stolen. Second game, they tried to zone. Should have committed.
I like the idea of the Gold Fury better in this game, even though, yeah, they didn't play it as well as they could have.
It's also really unfortunate like how low they were after that team fight to like allow Dwurst to take full advantage. Ultimate being stunned out, Zachsy taking a lot of damage, forced the purification away. Just gonna walk out.
Nice Warrior's Will from Jellly there. Gonna make sure he doesn't get knocked up. And Owen has made the teleport in, but Dwurst is gonna match that. And he's gonna find 3 carries in the back line, and they're gonna be looking for Zachsy, who's been stunned out from the Neith arrow, and the Tremor should be good to secure him.
And with the Fear No Evil, it's going to stop the Tremors, the ultimate from Raijin, as well as the Typhoon. We're going to have the defensive ultimate away from the Sobek, because he's going to engage, trying to catch Myflin. It's going to force the ultimate from Delta Marine.
That damage, and actually Sobek going to be stunned and locked in. On the Monster connects. Somehow Owen stays alive, and here comes the rest of the team. Freya to the back line, going to juke out the root here. Jellly and Dwurst sitting in the front, and it looks like neither team wants to dive any deeper.
Just barely not able to find the pick onto the Anhur. Had they find that pick, they could have continued on playing aggressive. Now with the Anhur back, eager. They do have the sustain from the Guan, so this is what allows them to stay in the team fight. No one falling from either side.
And the Urchin is online for the Guan as well, so he's not really in the most tanky position. He's a couple levels down from eLevate's carries. However, as long as he doesn't get 100 to 0'd, right, just having that constant heal bot, right? That's what he's been known as, kind of this like party heal bot.
And there's no Odin to deal with him right now currently. There's a Bacchus that you have to worry about.
The anti-healing's a little bit, yeah, 20. What?
There's
20?
a Pestilence on Sobek. There's also Sickening Strike.
Sobek, yeah, Sobek is 25. Sickening Strike. Pestilence is 20.
I think Sickening Strike is 40% or 50%. It's either 40 or 50.
Either Bacchus or Sobek. One is like 20 and the other is 40. Like upper.
I think they're both like 50% anti.
They might have been buffed then. Or like, I don't recall. Like, I do remember they have that. I don't know. I'm going to go find that out later, though. Someone tweet at me. All I know is there's anti-healing on Sickening Strike and Belch of the Gods, okay? Come on, man. Stop looking at me. No one can see that you're just staring at me.
Back into the game, Gold Fury has respawned. Eager. They should just keep playing patient at this stage. They are very successful at counter-engaging eLevate's aggression around the Gold Fury, so why not just keep rolling off of it?
They also have a really nasty team fight, right? The Hunbats and the Scylla, always good, and then the Guan, just that, you know, heal bot that can also dive those backline carries like the Raijin. And that's actually what we've seen Jellly do the most is look at the diving the Raijin. And Belch is 25 and Sickening is 50.
Confirmed by Mr. Big Play Manta Ray.
Bacchus has confirmed it. I knew it was one or the other.
I always thought that the Bacchus anti-heal was more than that. I thought it was like 40 or 50 for some reason.
I knew one of them was like the 20s and one was like the 40s to 50. It's both
Look at that
anti-heal.
proxy though coming out of Dwurst.
God, Sickening Strike is 50.
See, the thing is, I don't play Bacchus in solo lane. I play Sobek in solo lane.
I just play Circat.
I actually played Bacchus once or twice, but it was like ranked. So.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Sickening Strike has 50. That's massive. That's huge. That's over 70% with the Pestilence. And AirCougar stunned against the wall as well. And the answer back from the Hunbats, but quickly purified as well. Zachsy trying to get out, but he's caged in and just body blocked inside the trimmers.
Nice positioning from StormyRays, absorbing that Neith ultimate. I'm a monster, gonna reset, and another kill potentially as Freya is in a lot of trouble, trying to find the dash, but not gonna connect, forcing a Sanctuary. Freya's gonna fall, second victim, 2-for-0 trade in the favor so far for Eager.
And Raijin trying to do everything he can, but it's just not enough. He can't lock down an individual target. Myflin forces him back under his tier 2. Owen gonna pop his ultimate, and Myflin will get hit, but it's not enough damage to kill him. And there comes the meditation and the Guan heals, and Owen plucks Jellly back in, but that's not who he wanted, and he's getting turned on. Trimmers are good. The knockup is gonna save him, but for how long? One more auto attack. Jellly takes out Owen 7-9. Eager down and kills, but still with the momentum.
And this is what Eager need to do. They need to force out the Gold Fury. They have the sustain, so that's a little bit different than eLevate. And with that, Paul is going to have to disengage. Meanwhile, Dwurst is going to keep on zoning out. Going to catch the ulti, forcing the Sanctuary and the Perfection, and he might still find the kill.
And look at that. The Bulwark going to be fine for him. And Gold Fury here, no one's going to be able to stop it. Owen going to be spawning soon, but his teleport's down anyway. And now Eager with a commanding 3K lead.
And the 2-player advantage currently, so they're going to be able to get both of these mid-harpies or potentially this mid-tower if they want to.
And the team seems to be looking for this mid-tower. Freya doing a speed buff. You could see the Anhur near the red. By the time he rotates in, it's going to be a little bit too late, and he's actually gone back over to the left-hand side of the map as StormyRays is left alone to defend this. He's going to get stunned out, but from behind, here's a 4-man knockup.
And the Crush is going to force out the disengage from StormyRays, and the rest of Eager are just going to back off. Meanwhile, AirCougar on the left-hand side almost getting the tower, as we do have a rotation from Zachsy just to defend that off. And
you could see now Freya's making the rotation over. AirCougar is going to back off, but still, like you said, that pressure onto the tower. Delta Marine has not had a good game.
I mean, like, that last I'm a monster was what won Eager that fight.
That's true. They hit, but then he hit it into a rock. Like, 80% of it into a rock.
All right, we're going to forget about that one. But that first one, though.
No, especially game 1, he actually came back. He recovered so well. It is not easy to die 3 times in 4.5 minutes and still carry into that mid and late game strong.
And that's what Scylla just provides you, that late game damage. That's all you really need to do. Wait for the setup from your team for the nice Root Crush combination, or just straight up find the kill confirm with your ultimate.
And now, Eager in a decent spot, like we said, 19 minutes in. The kills almost dead even. But, I mean, this has been a really close set. I think surprisingly so. Eager, that team that we thought was going to be, you know, #1 coming out of the qualifiers. They won basically every single week. But it hasn't been the case. They dropped 2 games to Soar, and even this game, no matter how the set ends up, I mean, this has been really close.
And that's not taking anything away from eLevate. They have a really tough schedule, like we mentioned. They were against Most Wanted and against Soar as well, finding only 2 wins against Kingdom. So going into this set, I didn't really expect eLevate to play lights out the way they did.
And, I mean, it's still going to be up to them. They really want to win here. We've had 2 2-0 so far. Actually, I think everything so far has been a 2-0 in all of the North American SCL. But Jellly wants to keep that true here. He's going to force out the Purification under the Tier 2. StormyRays finds a stun, but now the Siege is on. They have the healing. They have the sustain, and Eager want to take advantage of it.
And now we're going to have a flank from Dwurst. Freya taking a lot of damage. Fear No Evil, Typhoon being used as well. Crush doing a lot of damage to StormyRays, and he's going to be the first victim, tying the score at 9-9.
And Owen here wiggles his way onto the battlefield from the teleport, but a little bit behind Dwurst. Tier 2 going to be picked up as well, and Dwurst, it's just this solo lane domination. Dwurst is just sitting in the front line,
Paul is
just
flanking,
poking
but it's
everything.
too late.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to die, if anything, and now the team's going to look for that Tier 1. One member was left by himself, Myflin, but he's going to pop that Purification, and AirCougar and the rest of the squad were there to peel for him, but they bait out Owen's ult.
I like the double roots coming out of Eager with the Neith, with the
Tier
Scylla.
1. Guys, there's a Tier 1. AirCougar didn't even know he was swinging at the tower. Dwurst by himself, surrounded by 4. He should fall, actually knocked out of the Typhoon, and he might be able to get out of this, but pulled back in. Owen finds the hit.
There was a lot of cooldowns used, however, and with that, Eager should be fine still in this teamfight. Mid lane, AirCougar gets the mid tower, whereas in the solo lane side things, Myflin able to get that Tier 1 as well.
Just that high-level intelligence play, splitting eLevate up, you know, having them rotate to one side, getting towers elsewhere, just so well played from Eager, and they're going to wipe out all the Tier 1s across the board and extend their gold lead once again, looking at about 5,000 this time.
eLevate might be looking for a pick in the mid lane. Scylla forced to use the Sentinel away and going to get pulled back in using the Sanctuary. However, going to be dove in, forced to use a defensive Fear No Evil.
Perfect ult from Myflin. Absolutely perfectly placed, just as StormyRays was diving in and going to stop eLevate from trying to get something off of that.
And now without that Fear No Evil, that's something eLevate could potentially take advantage of, especially the fact that the Sanctuary was used by Scylla as well.
And it looks like they're looking at the speed buff, but it's only Freya by himself. He's going to have to jet stream away. Stormkata to extend that distance, and Myflin gets his speed buff. You can see he's actually working on this Hide of the Urchin, so his plan is to be pretty front line this game.
And that's something that it's a good idea to do. Like, you want to create such a distraction to allow the rest of your team just to do what they need to do. And we're looking at the side of Eager, this Guan Yu specifically already having 4 stacks of his Hide of the Urchin. And if Myflin can build those stacks as well, then those 2 tanky targets, especially like Fear No Evil, Guan Yu Cavalry Charge, Cabrakan.
And then just the fact that Myflin's harder to kill, right? Which means it's going to be, Jellly's going to be able to heal him up, right? So it's like, you all in, you escape because you have that extra health and protections, and then you get healed up, so you get like a full reset on life.
And then you also have double meditation on top of that, one on the Cabrakan and one on the Guan Yu.
Double med Guan. Oh, that's so annoying to deal with.
There's a curse online from Bacchus, you know, and there's 2 pestilences. There's the Sickening Strike and the Burp. So
yeah, I don't know if you heard about Sobek actually has that 50% healing reduction.
What about the Bacchus though?
25.
Okay.
I got it. Gold Fury started
up
by
God though?
40.
All right.
Wait, no, is it 50? Yeah, it's 50. It's 50 because you get 90 with
Divine. Divine Ruin is 40.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was actually 50, then Sobek would have 100%, yeah.
Is Sobek still 50? That's crazy.
Yeah. That's why they had, I think that Divine Ruin used to be 50.
Yeah.
And they had to nerf it to 40 as a result.
Yeah, and here comes Dwurst. He's going to find a stun onto 1. And actually, Paul over the side doing a good amount of damage onto Jellly, but it's not enough to secure the kill. Delta Marine gets his ult off before Owen can find the pluck onto him, so that CC immunity coming in big. Freya trying to chase down this carry, but he gets the 2-man pull, but quickly turned on, runs straight into Dwurst. Delta Marine somehow manages to get out. 2 members looking at Owen on the side here. It's Dwurst and AirCougar swinging away. But this fight's going pretty extended.
And with that, Delta Marine going to get stunned out. Owen going to confirm it with a pluck, but he's going to fall as well. So far, it's been a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Eager, and Dwurst and Myflin should be able to chase this out unless that slow from Zachsy keeps them alive.
Absolutely. Just how he placed it wasn't even just the slow. Myflin, his head was actually into the pillar during the overhand smash. Gold Fury is re-picked up here. But Eager a little bit timid about starting it up. Jellly has his heals. AirCougar going to have to be the one to tank it up. He's got the Soul Leader.
Myflin trying to zone away Zachsy away from this Gold Fury. Going to get reset to Dwurst, making sure there's nowhere for Paul to go around this Gold Fury. That's the one target you definitely want to zone out. Zachsy looking for something.
Zachsy.
Nah, he's giving it up.
Zachsy.
Nah.
Zachsy is giving it up.
It was just a great zoning coming from both the Batz and the Cabrakan.
Yeah, now 7K. Eager really feeling good about this game. 24 minutes in, about to be 25. They won the first game here. Looking good to close out the second one, but they still need to worry. Fire Giant probably going to be the next point that they're looking at.
Probably not anytime soon currently, unless for whatever reason Eager gets about 3 or 4 kills yet again. As long as eLevate doesn't lose too many members, or either side realistically, then you should always be able to contest Fire Giant with at least 3 members.
I mean, imagine they're going to bait it though. That's what I'm like. Maybe not, you know, just try and start it and burst it up, but baiting a team fight from eLevate is
that's
definitely
usually around the 10,000 gold mark plus. That's when you want to bait out Fire Giant,
just look
unless you have the level advantage.
And I mean, Myflin is behind in levels actually everywhere across the board. Even for the most part, besides those side lane carries. The solo laner, 2-level lead, and the hunter, 2-level lead in favor of Eager's squad.
Just swinging away is Dwurst, not connecting.
Come on, man. He's got his cars, dude.
Those are some righteous cars.
Just say righteous cars.
Righteous.
I can't wait for the 3v3, Totally.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of Cabrakan in 3v3s.
There is. A lot of Bacchus, too. It's going to be Bacchus, Cabrakan, and, like, some physical carry, I bet. Just, like, everyone's just going to have that burst. Everyone's going to have Vanguard, too. Fire Giant here being looked at by Eager. They're just going to put up some counter wards, though. They're looking for a pick. That's what they're doing. They want a pick before they can force any objective.
Owen a little out of position. Myflin not wanting to commit. Paul and Zachsy on the left-hand side. AirCougar could easily look for a World Weaver if somebody's too far out of position.
And it looks like no one from eLevate's going to fall for it. They're just backing up, positioning themselves pretty well. Myflin actually, oh, that was bad from him. He actually bounces to a monkey, and he's going to be forced to ult just so he doesn't get picked off.
Just wanted to play it super safe. It seemed like for a second he was about to take a lot of damage, but forced the defensive ulti, and now an engage from Freya. Dwurst trying to do a lot of damage to StormyRays. Paul on the left-hand side, going to get crushed. The cavalry charge is good as well. Oh,
the knock-up from Freya, going to find 3 of Eager's backline, and Stormy needs his jump up ASAP, but he can't get it off before the Neith arrow secures the kill. Paul gets decimated. His Sanctuary is not in time, and the last auto attack from Delta Marine finishes him off. Myflin takes out Owen as well, and now Eager. This is their Fire Giant.
This is the 3 picks that they needed to force this Fire Giant. And with the Guan you sustain, there's nothing eLevate can really do. They're just going to concede it. They're going to just farm up whatever they can. And now Eager are in the driver's seat.
They're going to have the teleport in, and you can see they're zoning appropriately. Delta Marine looking around here, waiting for his cooldowns to come back up. But no one from eLevate even wants to look in the direction of Fire Giant. So Eager going to be looking at those last 2 towers. Dwurst in the mid, the rest of the team looking at the right-hand side of the map.
9,000 gold lead for Eager with Fire Giant. After those 2 towers, that's going to be about a 12,000 gold lead, and that should be some Phoenixes shortly after they spend their gold.
And I would imagine they're going to spend their gold beforehand, right? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if they feel confident, right? They're still 9 seconds on Owen, and it looks like they're crushing forward.
Can we look at the gold in hand? So it's a lot of gold in hand for Eager. They should realistically back and spend it.
And they'll still have their Fire Giant, and you can see on the right-hand side.
AirCougar's in trouble. He just got hit by the jet ship. Going to get pulled, force the Sanctuary.
And here comes Jellly into the backline. Got to find the stun. Dwurst pushing up, and Owen doing everything he can to deal with the Eager carries in the backline. Lurking in the water's just so much, and Zachsy combines with Freya's knockup as well. Myflin gets his ultimate back online, but Freya's chasing everyone super deep.
Myflin is going to jump over the wall, going to get chased by Zachsy as the rest of Eager now forcing the purification. Jellly, Freya is going to fall to Dwurst on the right-hand side.
Not exactly sure what happened there. I'm assuming he got 100-0. I'm a monster. Doesn't do anything that Eager really wants it to there, and they're going to be forced to reset. So now they're going to be able to spend their gold, also steal the speed buff, and overall it was a 1-for-1.
Yep, that's very important also for Eagle that it was a 1-for-1 and didn't lose more members than that. After both tier 2 towers fell, they should have instantly disengaged and spent all that gold. They had the Fire Giant for about 3 more minutes or so, so that's plenty of time to still get a lot of towers.
They still haven't spent it yet. I mean, look at that, 2,700 in hand for the Scylla right now. She could finish off her Rod of Tahuti. She can start up another item as well, but instead, I mean, they're just kind of wasting their Fire Giant running around. There's only 2 minutes left on it.
Gold Fury is responding in about 22 seconds. Eager has about 71,000 gold total at this stage of the game. You get about the 75 to 80,000 mark. That's when the full builds come online. So wanting other players on the side of Eager to get their full builds.
Yeah, you can see Myflin still needs 1 item. The Scylla needs an item and to finish off 1. Even Cabrakan has it back, but that's just because they all have so much in hand. Full build coming out for the Hunters, though.
The timing of this, so Fire Giant is responding about 2.5 minutes or so. So once they back and start pushing again, they're going to have the Fire Giant for about a minute remaining, the buff.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be in time to push a Phoenix, but at the very least, they're going to be poised for that next FG fight, just with that 1,400 gold lead. We'll see what items are going to be finished off. It's Obsidian Shard for Dwurst. Myflin sells his Bumba's Mask, and he's working on a Titan's Bane. And the Scylla got the full Rod of Tahuti, as well as starting up that Soul Reaver.
It's going to knock up AirCougar, trying to force him to disengage. Freya in a little bit of trouble. World Weaver, is it going to be enough damage?
No, it's not going to be enough. It's going to be just short. I knew it.
Calculated.
Why you? I knew it. I knew he was going to be fine.
All right.
Actually, there is that feel, right? You know.
I mean, sometimes you
where
do.
It's like you're watching, you're like, they're going to live. But every once in a while, there's those cases where like, he did way more damage than I thought he would, right? It's like when those pin boots and like the full Doom Orbs on your online, you're like,
okay, you know why he didn't? Because AirCougar didn't have the Fire Giant.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Clearly.
Calculate.
Everyone gets 1.
I said he wasn't going to die, and he didn't die. What do you mean everyone gets 1? I was correct.
No, I'm saying everyone gets 1. Freya survived.
Okay, there we go. Fire Giant online for probably about 40 more seconds, so Eager trying to take advantage of it. Look for a siege attempt here, and Myflin the first in. Going to actually jump the knockback, and that's big Owen. Oh, he's going to fall.
StormyRays is going to probably be the next victim. He's very low as well. He's just going to belly flop away. Freya trying to do as much damage as he can. Forced to run away.
Freya.
Zachsy's going to have to jump away. His left side Phoenix falls. And meanwhile, on the backhand side, there's a 1v1 between the mages.
And just trying to get away, but there's the taunt. And Paul does manage to find 1 kill in favor of eLevate. And look at him run with those drums. I mean, he's got to get away at this point. Myflin dealing with everyone else in combination with Jellly. AirCougar should be able to secure this here unless Paul can find his way over a wall. And he does in time. And AirCougar is kind of just wasting his time instead of looking at these Phoenixes.
That's very important to try to find, with a player, you have a 2-for-1 in your favor. You get in position to get this Phoenix.
Oh, there's the Neith ult, but it's actually going to be intercepted by Stormy, who's going to be stunned out under the Phoenix. There's the Intoxicate. That's going to make it very hard for Eager to chase him underneath that Phoenix. And he is going to be able to get around the corner, but jumping forward is Myflin, and he changes targets over to the Anhur overhand smash. Not going to be enough, and the team has already taken out the middle Phoenix.
2 Phoenixes down in the favor of Eager. Now going on to the third one. AirCougar doing a decent amount of damage. Now resetting it to Dwurst. Dwurst is going to have to reset. Fear No Evil into the back. Zachsy taking a lot of damage. Just trying to zone out members of eLevate so that this last remaining Phoenix does fall.
And look at that defensive ult coming out from Dwurst. He's a little bit worried about Owen. And Owen also going to be off the mark on his pluck. But, I mean, he should be able to find AirCougar with lurking in the waters. It's not going to be enough damage, but maybe with the help of someone else. Great Sanctuary in time. And here comes the knockup, though, from the Typhoon. Owen finishes off AirCougar. In the meantime, Zachsy dealing with Jellly. Really good use of Talu Assault, immuning out that knockup, but he should be chased down here.
Not connecting onto the pillar stun combination. However, Owen is trying to find the flank underneath. Meanwhile, on the top-hand side, Zachsy is going to try to turn this fight. Zachsy's going to take a lot of damage from this cavalry charge, but proccing the Soul Eater. Oh,
and he actually gets the dash off as well before Paul could find it. He's just wasting time at this point. Last hit goes to Paul. 7, 2, and 6. Really solid game from him, but the team's lost 2 Phoenixes in this last fight.
And that's something that Eager needs to utilize into their advantage. They can defend this Fire Giant if eLevate tries to force this Fire Giant having this 2-player advantage. Eager, especially with Scylla, all it takes is 1 root crush, and you can proc the root off a Fire Giant that's a stationary target.
I mean, that's the thing about Jellly, though. I mean, he ran around for so long. I mean, it allowed AirCougar that extra 20 seconds he needed to be up to contest it. And then all of eLevate was on the wrong side of the map if they wanted to force it. I mean, by the time they got there, everyone would have been respawned outside of Jellly.
So now, coming up to the 34-minute mark, Eager still with a very convincing lead, 14,000 gold, those two Phoenixes, as well being down. Fire Giant has respawned, and it looks like eLevate didn't want to even attempt the Fire Giant. They were just very content about trying to push out the fire waves that were in the dual lane and mid.
And that's what's so critical, and what a lot of teams, you know, have to learn is just how to manage those fire waves, right? If you're behind, if you've got Phoenixes down, like, what is your course of action depending on how the game's going, right? Do you just concede the Fire Giant? Do you send one person to try and steal it? What if he dies? And making those decisions are really what separates those high-end teams from the bottom-end ones.
On the side of eLevate, you either send the Sobek or the Susano trying to steal, maybe even the Raijin from behind the Fire Giant pit.
Well, it's going to be 3. Owen's making his way in, Fire Giant at 30%. But Jellly's already back and Eager. They just completely reset it. They don't want to risk having it stolen away. They're going to be looking for the fight. And actually, Owen pretty poked out. Did he hit a minion?
Stun, and now with that, Owen is going to fall. The first victim, Sprint being procced by eLevate. Nice Typhoon connecting onto 4 members from Eager. Myflin's just going to wait and be patient. The Drums of War connecting onto Dwurst.
Not enough to kill anyone, and now the heal's going to come through from Guan. Freya solo. One more auto attack's going to finish it, but it's just the overhand smash from Myflin. Belly flop on Stormy, trying to find AirCougar, but he's knocked away to safety, actually, straight into his Guan Yu. And now Delta Marine, he's just sitting on the front line, looking for the root. Teleport coming in from the solo laner. Myflin back in as well, because he has TP too.
So now a 5-on-3 with a lot of fire minions coming into the Titan room that eLevate have to respond to. And with that, Paul and Bacchus are going to back. Left side Phoenix might fall to the fire wave.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to stop this in time. Actually, they were able to two-man combo just barely, but not what they really wanted. 2 members still down.
One Titan, though.
1 Phoenix, and the Titan, oh wow, it's so low.
It took a mid-wave. There was maybe a wave and a half in the middle that flooded in there. They neglected defending the Titan, trying to save that left side Phoenix.
And look at it, it's still getting hit, and Paul doesn't even know it is. I mean, the Titan's 33%. There goes the Fear No Evil, and it looks like eLevate, they're just going to dive in. Zachsy's the first target. Delta Marine picks up the kill. Owen plucking players actually into the Titan. He plucked the auto attacker straight there. Basic attacks from AirCougar secure it. And Eager walk away with the 2-0.
It's a very similar themed game, right? eLevate get ahead, and then Eager just say, no, you don't.
This time, though, Eager didn't throw away when they got their Fire Giant, their first Fire Giant.
They were very patient.
Yeah, they were a little bit safer. They got 2 Phoenixes. They didn't kind of rush in, but overall, really well played from them. And eLevate, to be fair, they look strong. That's what I liked from Kingdom, and I think eLevate today is that even though they weren't able to find the wins, just there's a lot to grow.
They showed progress.
Yeah. So let's take a little look at Delta Marine. He didn't really have the best starts to either game, but in those team fights, he was a monster.
Well, right there, he is a monster, connecting onto one, resetting, and that was very important for them. Finding Paul before the rewind happened and barely escaping this one team fight was what allowed Eager to win that one specifically.
Yeah, and here, he knows exactly where Paul's ulting. He hits him, finds him with the last auto attack at the end, and that was an ult that Paul wasn't expecting. He couldn't even Sanctuary in time. There was just that massive amount of bursts that just surprised him.
And this is the Gold Fury steal that was just so beautiful with the Intoxicate and the snipes from AirCougar in the back.
And yeah, AirCougar playing really well as well too. The Chiron, the no boots Chiron build was interesting, but hitting his snipes from max range was probably what was key for him. And then even onto the Neith as well, just the Spirit Arrows on the mark.
Speaking of Spirit Arrow, the whole composition between Eager was just so perfect, having the double root between the Scylla and the Neith, as well as some of the CC with the Fear No Evil and the Cabrakan stuns. So.
With that, though, Eager going to find themselves firmly in second place. Most Wanted still undefeated at the end of today. Eager following them at 6-6, and then Noble and Soar coming in at 4-4.
So, speaking of which, Eager's next match is going to be against Most Wanted.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And Most Wanted, I mean, that's what's going to be important for them to kind of prove themselves. They already beat Soar, however, with the sub. If they could take out Eager as well, that's that top card. Tomorrow, though, we're heading over to Europe. First match going to be Barrage versus Excel, and then after that, it's going to be Rival taking on Excellence.
Should be some good matches as well, Barrage and Rival. It's just some good, strong, solid EU. console teams.
So, some EU console teams. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us. A reminder, we have EU SCL tomorrow, and then we're going to have the 3v3 Joust tournament going to be broadcast at 1 p.m. Eastern, both Saturday and Sunday. And then on to Monday, we have not only the North American SCL games, but the makeup European ones that happened because of last week. So we'll see you all there, and that's going to be starting on July the 4th. So you get to join us for the fun times at 1 p.m. Eastern. So thank you guys for joining us today. For Anatoly, myself, and the rest of production, have a good one.